Hello Philippines and hello. Welcome to the number one talk show in the Philippines. And this is the Daily Filipino Talk Show. I am your host, Mr. Karl.
I am your host, Miss Shaiana.
Before we start, please allow me to introduce our special guest for today. Let us welcome Miss Jesica, Miss Rosemarie, and Miss Mhia Bianca.
Episode for today, we can gain more knowledge from our special guest. So without further ado, let us get started. Let us begin our topic with an explanation of what philosophy is. So Mr. Karl, I think it's your turn to share your wisdom.
Thank you, Miss Shania. Mabuhay, good day everyone, especially to our special guest today. Let us talk about what philosophy is. The word philosophy derives from the Greek word philos, which means lover or friend of, and Sophia for wisdom. Filipinos have a word philosopher, the exact definition for which is quite hard to pinpoint. It may refer to someone who may be a smart aleck, especially in answering questions. What a philosophy say often give us a feeling that he or she is trying to be clever, and not in the sense of ingenious, and may sometimes irritate or amuse us. Usually, our reaction to these white cracks is to roll our eyes, shake our heads, or laugh them off, or be exasperated. Usually, we think of a philosopher as someone whose answers do make sense, but not in what we think of a philosopher as someone whose answers do make sense, but not in the usual or expected ways that answers are supposed to be given. In other words, a philosopher may be someone who thinks outside of the box. Your own philosophy might be something like, be true to yourself, meaning, at least at first glance, that you value honey about yourself in all aspects of your relationships and decisions. Or it might be something briefer like, to God be the glory, meaning, at first glance again, that everything you do and achieve in your life is a way of being thankful and praising God. Neither of these instances involve anyone being a philosopher in the sense of being a smart aleck or being a clever, unless maybe someone say, my motto in life is that I have no motto. In these examples, having a philosopher is broadly speaking, having a general guideline in life for how to live life, and to a certain extent, most of us have this, in varying degrees of articulation. In the sense, we might think of philosophy as personal mottos or personal codes, or perhaps a point of view, a way of seeing and making sense of the world and our experiences. How about you, Miss Shania? Do you have something to share with our viewers? Or let us have our first topic. So, who is Gilbert Ryle? Let's investigate.
Breton Gilbert Ryle was a philosopher. He was born in August 1900s in Brighton, England. He was famous for his critique of Cartesian dualism, for which he invented the expression ghost in the machine. Catherine Scott and Reginald John Ryle are his parents. He received a first-class honors diploma from the Queen's College in Oxford, England. In 1924, he was hired as a lecturer at Christ Church College. He started teaching philosophy. He was also a pioneer in the modern analytic trend in British philosophy. On October 6, 1976, he passed away in Whitby, England. Enough is enough. This time, let us move on to the next question. So can we have Miss Mhia first share her knowledge?
Hi, my name is Mhia, and as your special guest, I will discuss I act, therefore I am. I act, therefore I am is arguing that the mind does not exist, and therefore it cannot be the seat of self. Ryle believes that we are all just a bundle of behaviors, and self comes from behavior. For example, you are do good things to other people, it will reflect in you. They will see you kind or friendly. And example number 2, when you are always listening to yourself and not to your parents. In a scenario like you are always going to your friend's house late at night, and after that you will go to club. but your parents said to you that you can do that in moderation. But as an only child, you are looking for happiness, but your parents see that your friends are the bad influencers. So what is the solution to that problem? Tell your parents that your friends know their limits, and also you can build their trust for you to invite your friends to your house, or sometimes they can have an overnight to your house. That's all. Thank you for letting me share some information about Ryle. I believe Miss Rosemarie has a lot to say and the importance of it. So, can you please join us here?
Thank you, Miss Mia. I want to add something about the importance of behavior and the explanation of the concept of mind by Gilbert Ryle. It was published in 1949. He believed that there is no real difference between mental and physical activity. Indeed, they are the same thing, just expressed differently. Why does behavior affect ourselves? By studying and learning about fundamentals of behavior and the human mind, we are able to gain a better understanding of ourselves. Why or how does behavior affects us? One example of this is stress eating. Many individuals claim to engage in unhealthy eating habits as a result of stress, and they claim that these habits might have unfavorable effects, including making them feel lethargic or lazy and making them feel horrible about their bodies. One of the most important things to do to cope this is to make time for hobbies that will help you gain confidence and self-esteem, and always take care of yourself. The second example is when you are in a relationship. An example of this is when you are giving your partner the silent treatment. The silent treatment can leave your partner feeling confused, ignored, hurt, angry, unloved, or unimportant. As a result, their feelings for you may fade, and at the end, you are the one who will suffer more because of the behavior shown. To cope this, you must avoid unhelpful response, always name the situation, apologize, and acknowledge your partner's feelings. Thank you so much for listening. This time, Mr. Karl, I have a question. How does Gilbert Ryle define self?
That is a good question. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, let us now tackle how Gilbert Ryle defines self. For Ryle, what truly matters is the behavior that a person manifests in his day-to-day life. He also believed that self is the brain. It means that a person's behavior is a reflection of his personality. Personality is defined as the sum total of ways that an individual reacts and interacts with others. It also refers to the actions or reactions. As an individual, we commonly see other people's manner of doing things, beliefs, and system of living. We most of the time give comments and or judgments on how they behave and react in certain scenario. Miss Jessica, I have a questions prepared for you. So, can you please share your opinions about what we learned from philosophy and how does philosophy help us in our daily life?
What do you learn about philosophy? We learn about philosophy because it teaches a critical thinking, close reading, clear writing, and logical analysis. It uses this to understand the language we use to describe the world and our within it. There are philosophical questions, and philosophy teaches in the way we reach mighty begin the answer to them. How does philosophy help us in our daily life? It helps us to solve problems mundane and our abstract, and help us to make a better decision by developing our critical thinking. Very important. The age of the formation. It illustration by linking and influential ideas to mundane activities such as a waking up, discretes, and going to gym with the hygiene. Also, philosophy doesn't just tell up the belief. It also helps us to improve our thinking by providing our ability to be responsible and help us to assurance to the multiplication and poor arguments will have lower impact on our beliefs and good arguments. And evidence will have the larger impact on our beliefs.
Well, I think that is a wrap. Thank you so much, guys. As we say goodbye, we hope you learned a lot from us so we can continue our magnificent journey and chase our dreams together.